People often give up on love when things go wrong, but Michael J. Fox and his wife Tracy Pollan have stuck together for 30 years. Tracy has been there for him through all of his joys and sorrows, tears and laughs. After 35 years of marriage, Michael J. Fox's wife finally speaks out. What she tells us about their famous love story might surprise, inspire, or change everything we thought we knew. Check back to find out. Before he became a famous actor, Michael J. Fox came from a poor background and loved the theater. Let's go back in time and look at Michael J. Fox's interesting childhood. Michael's family tree. Michael J. Fox was born in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, on June 9, 1961. His name is linked to beauty and strength. His childhood was not like most kids. Imagine a busy home with 5 kids who are always laughing and sometimes getting into trouble. Michael was the 4th of 5 children. Because his father was in the Canadian military, the family moved around a lot when he was young. There was a lot of change in Michael's childhood, which affected his work later on. Michael was used to being on the move from a young age. His dad, William Fox, was a sergeant in the Canadian Army Signal Corps, so he had the life of an army brat. Because of this, the family moved around Canada several times. In each new city, I made new friends and had new adventures, but I also had to say goodbye to old friends and places. When William retired in 1971, the Fox family finally moved to Burnaby, British Columbia. This move was a big turning point for Michael as a child. Michael's hobbies began to grow in Burnaby. He was always interested in music and got a guitar for Christmas when he was 8 years old. He then taught himself how to play. Imagine him playing the guitar in his room while thinking of becoming a rock star. During his teens, he played in a number of garage bands, letting his imagination run wild through music. He did enjoy being a kid, but as he got older, playing became more important to him. Michael went to Burnaby Central Secondary School and found acting classes there. On stage, he felt better and got excited. Here he learned that acting wasn't just a hobby for him, it was his true love. He often talked about how he wanted to get away from the boring 9-to-5 life that most people had to deal with. As a child, I wanted to be a writer, a musician, or a hockey player. Among other things, I didn't want to work from 9 to 5. Singing was the first thing that worked for me, he said later. Michael, who was only 15, took a chance and tried out for a part in the. He was thrilled to get the part in the Canadian TV show Leo and Me, his first job as an actor. This sparked a desire in him to become an actor full-time. Can you picture how exciting it would be to walk onto a set for the first time? Everything was exciting: the lights, the cameras, the excitement. As Michael's love for playing grew, he said goodbye to, left his home in Canada and went to Los Angeles. Michael made a big choice when he was 18 years old, and determined, he packed his bags and moved to Los Angeles. He had big dreams of becoming a star. But Hollywood wasn't as friendly as he thought it would be. He went to a lot of auditions that didn't lead anywhere, and he worried all night long about whether he had made the right decision. Even though there were problems, patience paid off when producer Ronald Shedlow found Michael. He made his American appearance in the TV movie Letters from Frank, where he was given the name Michael Fox. He also had to deal with the problem that when he joined the Screen Actors Guild, the name Michael Fox was already being used by an experienced actor. The Screen Actors Guild doesn't let 2 members use the same stage name, and they already had a setup for Michael Fox to set himself apart formally. He got the middle initial J, which came from the name of a character actor, Michael J. Pollard. This small change would soon be known all over the world. Andrew is my middle name, but Andrew Fox or Andy Fox didn't work for me. Michael A. Fox was even worse. Funny enough, the word Fox is now used to mean attractive. Michael E. A. Fox also sounded too Canadian, but maybe I was just being too sensitive. Then I thought of one of my favorite character actors, Michael J. Pollard, who played the guileless partner in Bonnie and Clyde. I stuck in the J, which sometimes I tell people stands for either genuine or genius, and resubmitted my forms, he said. Michael J. Fox was in other TV shows. As any aspiring actor knows, it's not always easy. There were times when roles were scarce. Michael loved to call these times his macaroni days, when he ate cheap food while waiting for his big break. In 1982, Michael got the part that would change his life forever, Alex P. Keaton on the NBC sitcom Family Ties. This show was a cultural phenomenon. It showed the relationship between a conservative son and his liberal parents during the Reagan administration. Can you picture a young Michael? This time, he had his famous mullet, and through his sharp wit and funny lines that spoke to millions of people, Michael quickly made Family Ties a staple of American television, running for 7 seasons until 1989. His role as Alex earned him a lot of praise and awards. He wasn't just another teen actor, he was a force to be reckoned with. From 1986 to 1988, he won 3 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series. His character became a symbol of the era's youth culture, embodying ambition and a touch of rebellion. After becoming famous on TV, Michael really became a star when he moved on to movies. In 1985, he played Marty McFly in Robert Zemeckis' Back to the Future. It was like stepping into a time machine and going back to the 1950s. Michael brought Marty to life with contagious energy and charisma, making him one of movie's most beloved characters. The movie was an instant hit, grossing over $380 million, millions of dollars around the world, and became one of the most important movies of the 1980s. People were captivated by Marty's adventures with Christopher Lloyd's Doc Brown. The chemistry between the two actors was electric, and their comedic timing made every scene memorable. Michael's performance as an ordinary teenager thrust into extraordinary circumstances struck a chord with people of all ages. Each movie built on the first one's ideas while keeping its humor and heart. In Part 2, Marty goes to a futuristic 2015 and sees flying cars and hoverboards. Who wouldn't want to see that? In Part 3, he goes back to 1885 for an exciting Western adventure. These movies not only showed how versatile Michael was as an actor, but they also cemented his place in pop culture history. The trilogy is still one of the highest-grossing franchises of all time, and Michael's performance as Marty McFly is often seen as one of his finest roles. Although Michael J. Fox was best known for his comedic roles, he also did some serious ones that showed off his range as an actor. In Bright Lights, Big City, released in 1988, he played Jamie Conway, a young man dealing with personal demons in the midst of New York City's nightlife. This role pushed him out of his comfort zone and allowed him to show dramatic depth. In Casualties of War, directed by Brian De Palma, released in 1989, Michael played Private Erickson, who faces moral dilemmas in the midst of chaos. This movie showed that he could play serious roles while still staying true to himself as an actor. After becoming a TV and movie star with hits like Back to the Future, Michael continued to try out different types of roles in the early 1990s. In Doc Hollywood, he played a hotshot doctor who gets lost in a small town, which was a sweet and funny story. In The American President, he played Louis Rothschild, an aide to President Andrew Shepard, played by Michael Douglas. This movie mixed romance and political intrigue, and it showed how well Michael J. Fox could move between genres. After having huge success in movies, Michael went back to TV with another hit show called Spin City. He played Mike Flaherty, the deputy mayor of New York City who tries to keep his personal life in order while dealing with the chaos in politics. The show went over well, And Michael got to show off his comedy timing once more. From 1996 to 2002, Spin City won a lot of awards and was nominated for more for its smart writing and talented cast. Michael J. Fox's hard work and ability soon paid off, and his trophy case was soon full of prestigious awards and nominations. In addition to Michael's rising fame, he also received awards and praise for his work. Many awards were given to him for his work in movies and TV shows. He won 5 coveted Emmys for his iconic role as Alex P. Keaton in Family Ties for 3 years in a row. He was named Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series, and later, for his gripping performance in Rescue Maine, he was named Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series. The Golden Globe Awards also recognized his great talent, giving him 4 awards for Best Performance by an Actor in a Television Series, Musical, or Comedy for Family Ties, and nominating him for many other outstanding parts throughout his long and successful career. Because of how well he played Michael in Spin City, he won 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in. His autobiography, Always Looking Up, won a Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album, which shows how good a speaker he was. These prestigious awards are more than just numbers. They show how much Michael changed the entertainment world during a very successful time in his career, solidifying his place as a beloved and admired industry star. Now that we've talked about Michael's rise to fame, let's look into his personal life and learn about the love story that has fans hooked for decades. Michael and Tracy are married. People have been interested in Michael J. Fox and Tracy Pollan's love story for decades, ever since they met on the set of the popular show Family Ties. Their journey from co-stars to lasting partners is full of luck, friendship, and a strong bond that has only grown stronger over time. This famous pair got together, their first relationship, and the beautiful marriage they built together are all things we want to learn more about. With his part as Alex P. Keaton on Family Ties, Michael J. Fox was already a rising star in 1985. When liberal parents and their conservative son fight, it makes for funny TV. The show quickly became a hit. It was during season 4 that Tracy Pollan joined the show as Alex's love interest, Ellen Reed. Tracy was cast as a character who was more than just a romantic partner for Alex. She was also brought in to give Alex's character more meaning and make him think about things. Michael helped get her the part by picking her out of a group of applicants during tryouts. He liked how strong and sensitive she was. He once said, "She was strong without being overbearing." This first impression would set the stage for their friendship in the future. Even though they had undeniable chemistry on TV, they didn't start dating until after the show was over. Michael was seeing actress Nancy McKeon at the time, and Tracy was seeing star Kevin Bacon. During shooting, they often laughed and got along with each other, but they didn't show any romantic feelings at bay while they worked out their own ties. Tracy later remembered what she thought of Michael. At first, he was very cocky. He's funny, but cocky. Even though she thought this at first, she admired his skills and charm. Because they respected each other and joked around, they became good friends that would last for a long time. As shooting went on, Michael became more and more interested in Tracy's thoughtful personality. He would often see her sitting alone on set, thinking, which made him want to know more about her. At the time, he said, "I don't want to bother her, but I can't wait to find out what she's thinking." This mix of admiration and curiosity gave them a hint of the deeper link that was growing between them. In 1987, Michael and Tracy met again on the set of Bright Lights, Big City, a movie based on Jay McInerney's book. They were both no longer in a relationship and were now single. After going out together off-screen, things got really hot this time. Later, Michael told a funny story about how he found out they were no longer together. A person asks, "Did you hear that X and Y are no longer together?" You think, "Oh no, that's too bad, where is the phone?" After this meeting, their relationship grew quickly. They found comfort in each other as they went through the ups and downs of life in Hollywood. The chemistry they had on Family Ties carried over into their real lives without a hitch. During dinner dates and quiet times away from the press, they laughed together. When they walked the red carpet together for the first time at the 39th Annual Emmy Awards in September 1987, everyone knew they were dating. Michael won an Emmy for his part in Family Ties, and there they were. Everyone can see the two of them smile. No matter what Michael had done or what they were building as a couple, that moment was full of happiness and pride. Having Tracy by his side during a key point in his work showed him love and support. They had changed into something new as they walked down the red carpet. Into something more, like a friendship based on mutual admiration and respect. In early 1988, just a few months after going public as a pair, Michael asked Tracy to marry him. The proposal happened after only 7 months of dating, during a fast-paced relationship fueled by love and fit. There was a clear link between them that seemed to go beyond time. It felt right. Michael later talked about how he felt about Tracy at the time. "I wasn't really afraid that she would say no. There were times when it was hard to decide when to get married and how to keep everyone else from finding out." In an interview with People in 1989, he said this: Michael J. Fox and Tracy Pollan said their vows in a small ceremony at the West Mountain Inn in Arlington, Vermont, on July 16, 1988. Many family and close friends were there to enjoy this happy union. Michael, then 27, stood next to Tracy, then 28, ready to start a journey that would last a lifetime. They wrote their own vows, which showed how committed they were to each other through good times and bad. Their wedding day not only marked the start of their marriage, but also strengthened their bond against whatever life might throw at them. After their wedding, Michael and Tracy had 4 children: son Sam, born in 1989, twin daughters Aquina and Schuler, born in 1995, and youngest daughter Esme, born in 2001. Family life became a big part of who they were as people and as a couple. Their relationship hasn't been easy, but Michael says that open communication and humor have helped them stay together through some of life's ups and downs, including a health crisis. They've been through things that would test even the strongest marriages, life's unexpected challenges. In 1991, Michael J. Fox was diagnosed with a disease that would change the course of his life and career forever. He was only 29 years old when he was diagnosed with this degenerative neurological disorder. Initially, Michael thought the twitch in his left pinky finger was just fatigue, but as the symptoms got worse, they became impossible to ignore. Imagine being at the top of your career, starring in hit movies and beloved TV shows, only to be given a diagnosis that could change everything. For Michael, the news was incomprehensible. He felt a mix of denial and fear, not knowing what the future held. "I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was coming," he later said. Parkinson's is a progressive disorder that affects movement and is caused by the loss of neurons in the brain that make dopamine. Michael was hit hard by the news. He had always been known for his energy and charm, which made him famous. Now he was facing a condition that could slowly take away those qualities. He told no one about his diagnosis, not even his coworkers or friends, because he thought he could handle it on his own. During this crazy time, Tracy Pollan became more than just Michael's wife. She became his rock and strong support system. Tracy knew the struggles that come with fame and the pressures that come with it. While Michael dealt with his diagnosis in private, Tracy was there for him, loving him and not judging him. Her support was very important in the early years when Michael used alcohol as a way to deal with his problems. He admitted, So what if I could just have 4 glasses of wine and maybe a shot? During this time, he said that he was definitely an alcoholic. The couple went through hard times together as Michael battled Parkinson's disease and addiction. Michael's problems weren't just personal, they also affected his marriage and family life. The first few years after he was diagnosed were sad and full of denial. At home, he worked hard to hide his Parkinson's symptoms from those around him. You can't pretend at home that you don't have Parkinson's because you're just there with it, he said. If I'm out in the world, I'm dealing with other people, and they don't know I have it. Tracy saw firsthand how the disease affected Michael's mental health. During these tough times, she often pushed him to get help and face his addiction head on. One fateful night, Tracy found Michael passed out on the couch after a night of heavy drinking. This was a wake-up call for both of them. She looked at him with concern and asked, "Is this what you want? Is this what you want to be?" Her words hit Michael hard, making him face not only his addiction but also the fact that he had Parkinson's disease. Michael knew he needed help, so he started going to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings and therapy to deal with both his addiction and his mental health problems. The road to recovery wasn't easy, there were setbacks. Along the way, things went badly, but Michael was determined to get his life back. He talked a lot about how important it was to take things one day at a time. The tools that worked for quitting drinking work, even better for Parkinson's: acceptance and surrender. This mantra helped him stay sober and deal with Parkinson's. With millions of people watching, Michael hid the truth. But at what cost? How did Michael J. Fox get the courage to tell everyone about his secret struggle? Breaking the silence as Michael started to feel stable in his sobriety, he also had to face the realities of living with Parkinson's disease. In 1998, after 7 years of keeping his diagnosis a secret, he revealed it in an interview with People magazine. This choice changed a lot about how he dealt with his health and his career. He later said that he chose to go public with his diagnosis because he was sick of the paparazzi harassing him. The paparazzi and stuff. They would stand outside my apartment and heckle at me, like, "What's wrong with you?" I told my friends, "I can't put up with this," so I went out and it was great. It was really cool. The moment Michael finally told the truth, he felt free. "It was a great surprise to me that people responded the way they responded," he said. "They were interested because they wanted to find a cure for the disease, and I saw that as a great chance. I wasn't put in this situation to waste it." Going public not only brought attention to Parkinson's, but it also started talks about mental health and addiction, which are often taboo subjects. With a strong desire to make a change, Michael started the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research in 2000. Since then, this group has raised more than $1 billion for study into Parkinson's disease in the hopes of finding better treatments and eventually a cure. His work as an advocate has given hope to many people who are going through similar problems. Michael's wife Tracy was by his side the whole time, helping him as a wife and as a voice for people with Parkinson's disease. Along with each other, they went to events, helped raise money, and told their story to give people going through similar problems hope. Years of living with Parkinson's disease led to Michael J. Fox going through one of the hardest times of his life, which he later called his darkest moment. He had surgery in his spine to remove a non-cancerous tumor that was growing quickly and causing him terrible pain all over. No, this surgery wasn't just another medical procedure. It was a major turning point that would test both Michael's physical strength and his wife Tracy Pollan's devotion to him. After months of terrible pain, the choice to have surgery was made. Michael had been dealing with the effects of Parkinson's for almost 30 years, and the tumor made his already difficult health situation even worse. The surgery itself was dangerous, and he was very nervous as he got ready for it. This could help him feel better, but it could also make things worse. Tracy was there for him through this rough patch, acting like a true partner. She went with him to all of his pre-surgery appointments and held his hand and spoke words of support. Michael had a long and hard time recovering from the surgery. He had to learn how to walk again. The road ahead was full of physical therapy classes and times when he was angry that he was having a hard time getting mobile again. Just as Michael started to believe that he would get better, something bad happened again. He felt better after a family trip, so he went back to New York City to film a cameo in a Spike Lee movie. Things were going according to plan until there was a sudden fall that ruined everything. Getting hurt badly and feeling beaten and down made him break his arm. Michael said this was the point where things broke. I lost it. He was so sad that he had to lean against the wall in his kitchen while he waited for the ambulance. He thought, "This is the lowest point for me." It was a painful and regretful moment, very different from the happy one. He had worked so hard to keep up. Tracy helped Michael's life even more after that. She knew how hard this latest loss had been on his feelings. During this time, their children were also very important. Around Michael, his family came together to show their love and support, which made it easier for him to deal with his injuries and hardships. His body and mind started to slowly get better. After his injuries and Parkinson's disease, Michael J. Fox understood that even though life had been hard for him, he still had a lot to be thankful for. During an interview about this time, he said, "I love being with my family. I love being with Tracy." He found happiness in simple things, like dinners with his family, where everyone laughed, or quiet nights spent watching TV together. Little things like these helped him feel better during ongoing problems. Michael also started writing again during this time. It helped him deal with everything that had happened to him. His next book, No Time Like the Future, An Optimist Considers Mortality, was based on these events. In it, he was honest about both his health problems and how gratitude helped him find happiness again. After being married to Michael J. Fox for decades, Tracy Pollan talks about the good times, the bad times, and the lessons she has learned from their life together. Getting through life together. In a recent interview, Tracy Pollan talked about her and Michael J. Fox's amazing journey together. She was thinking back on their marriage after more than 30 years of being married. Their story isn't just about love, it's also about being strong, working together, and being able to handle life's obstacles. Michael and Tracy both thought about what makes their marriage work. Tracy said, "I think we listen to each other. It's okay to need room from each other. Sometimes we're always there for each other." Their friendship depends on this balance between needing help and being able to do things on their own. Michael spoke up to stress how important Tracy was to their family. "Anything good in our family comes from her. We can count on her for everything." His words were full of respect as he talked about how strong and caring Tracy was. Today's life for Michael and Tracy's relationship has both good and bad points. Their lives have changed because of Parkinson's, but they still find ways to enjoy life together. "We assume the best," Tracy told People. "If my husband is rude to me, my first thought is not that he's not being mean to me. There was something else going on," Tracy told them. "Even though some days are harder than others, we always find a way to laugh." She also said that he is one of the nicest people she has ever met. "He almost always looks at the situation and at the people involved and thinks about others before he thinks about himself," she added. Tracy shared an old picture of the two of them on vacation with the sweet words, 35 years on their 35th wedding anniversary. Hey, happy anniversary, sweetheart. Here's to many more wonderful times spent together. I love you so much." Besides the sad picture of Tracy kissing him on the face, Michael J. Fox also shared some cute old pictures of the couple. 35 years of loving, laughing, living, and listening to you at Tracy Pollan. Thanks for everything. Always yours, Mike. In 2024, Michael and Tracy went to the National Board of Review Gala in New York City, where Michael's documentary, Still a Michael J. Fox Story, won the award for Best Documentary. Before the event, the couple stopped for pictures. Michael looked stylish in a blue suit and light shirt, and Tracy looked stunning in a black column dress. They added a touch of class and grace to the fancy event by just being there. Not just couples going through the same things can learn from their story. Anyone who believes in the power of love and teamwork can too. They will keep telling their story in interviews and films like Still a Michael J. Fox Movie. They want to bring attention to Parkinson's disease and show how beautiful, long-lasting love can be. What do you think about the love story between Michael J. Fox and Tracy Pollan? Tell us what you think below. Add your name, email address, and phone number. Tap the next video on your screen to see more like this.